Welcome to another episode of the Boss of Visual podcast show. It is your favorite host and CEO, Shakita D. Days. I am known as the business technician simply because I help you fix your business. Now, we had a great conversation with Shanika, and God just put it on her heart to come up with this amazing assignment for 25 days using the alphabet, and she's going to break it down to you on how this assignment is going to impact not only families but also children. It's going to help us strengthen our families and help us reduce, gun violence in communities, because we know that the backbone of everything is prayer. Our prayer got to be stronger so that we can start seeing change. And also our action got to be stronger. But before we get to that segment and before we get to our weekly caregiver segment with our life coach, Amazin Tate, I want to talk a little bit about, unifying. We have to be able to unify more. We have to be able to stick together in order for us to grow. And a lot of times, people in the urban communities, they wonder why they're not excelling on certain levels in their life. And the reason being is because you'll always be stuck because you feel that you have to compete with everyone. And when we get out of that mindset of competition, I got to outdo this person, that's when you're going to start reaching new heights and new levels in your life. And a lot of times, we got to understand that we can work together and we all can succeed, because we all have different talents and we all have different gifts that we bring to the table, right? But a lot of times you feel like, hey, if you support me, that I may outshine you, which is not the case. Because you have to understand that what you do, I may not be able to do, and what I do, you may not be able to do. All of us bring our different unique talents, traits, characteristics to life, to business, to whatever we do. And when you learn that there's a space just for you, and there's a network just for you, and there's an audience just for you, you'll learn how to unify and work with people. And that's why we can't reach levels, because we're constantly trying to outdo the other person. You got to start focusing closely on your goals, on your own personal growth, your own personal development, because that's what's going to take you to the next level. When you learn how to collaborate and work with other people, you'll be able to reach new goals, But as a community, we got to learn how to be able to strengthen that area in the business industry, in the Black, community. That's why we can't get far. But when we're able to change that cycle of, you don't have to be better than I am. You're not going to outshine me if I do this for you, if I work for you, if I collaborate with you. You got to get out of that mentality of, I'm not going to support this individual or this company or this person because they're going to move faster than me. They're going to outshine me. Now, it's okay to be able to have influence on people. I never get upset when somebody comes to me and say, hey, I want to start a business. I want to start a podcast. And so, because if you're reaching new heights and you want to do what I'm doing, then that means that I'm doing my job. That means that I have a great influence on you. And that's why you want to do what I do. But regardless of what you're doing and what I'm doing, we always are going to do it differently. Because the way that I execute something, you may not execute it. So I'm not worried about what other people are doing. You got to focus on your audience, focus on your mission and what you're trying to bring to the table. You don't need validation from anyone out there. You don't need validation from friends or family if you have a goal and it's something that you want to do. If you know what you want to do and you know how to do it, there's no reason for you to reach out and validate anything. Because a lot of times, when you're having a conversation with somebody, you can kind of hear where that conversation is going. You can hear the side eye in the conversation. You get people call you and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And it's kind of like telling you, oh, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it better than you. They're not basically saying it like outlandishly, like flat out, blankly, flat out saying it, but you can hear it in their tone and you can hear it, like you can read between the lines of what they're saying to you. But it's okay. Like I tell people, you don't need validation from me. I don't need validation from you. If you know what you want to do and how you want to do it, you do it. Because I know that I know how to execute things that work great for me, that work great for my time, that work great for my business. Because one thing I know, if you're going to execute anything in life or business, the one thing that you got to focus on is staying consistent. You have to focus on staying consistent, because if you execute something and you think you're going to do it 1 or 2 times, or you're going to space it out and you're not going to be consistent with it, you will not get to that level that you're trying to get to. But you got to make sure when you're executing something that you are passionate about what you're doing and you're going to be committed to the mission and you're going to carry the mission out. That's why I said people may jump and try to do things faster than you. They might try to do it on a bigger level. But one thing I know is that no one can execute anything the way that I execute it. So if you feel like you want to run and go do something quicker, it never bothers me, because I already know I have a plan for everything that I do. Everything is well planned. Everything is strategized. And everything is budgeted. I don't just run out there and do things. Everything has a time frame. Everything has a budget. Everything has a blueprint. So, like I said, I never get offended with what anybody else is doing. I am happy and excited to see everybody, moving to new heights, that want to do new things. But I want you to keep in mind and keep in your head that when you're doing these things, make sure that it's something that you're passionate about. Make sure that you execute it correctly, and make sure that you stay consistent. And if you don't know what you're doing, make sure that you seek the help. And don't be afraid to pay for services to get the help. Because a lot of times we'll go outside of people that we know, and we'll go and pay these high prices to other people out of the circle. And then you don't get what you need. And then you come back around and then you want to get it free from that person that you were talking to previously. And it just don't work like that. Because if you're willing to go out and pay other people thousands of dollars, then you should be able to pay that fee that I give you in the training program, or that fee that anyone gives you that may be in your circle. Because what I'm learning is we give out too many things for free. And I'm on a new level in my life where you cannot, if you left my life, you cannot come back the same way. So any consultation that I have is not going to be free, which I was explaining to our inner circle members. Like, we got to start paying for our services, because we get people that go out and they spend thousands of dollars with people. They don't get the training. They get disappointed, but then they come back around. They want to have validation conversations with us, and they want to listen, and they want to get little tools and tips for free. But that season is over with. We're moving into a new season. So I wanted to come on with that to stay encouraged, stay focused. There's a lot going on We also, from the bottom of our heart, from the Boss Up Visual Podcast Show, from Derek Denzel Days II Corporation, to just send our deepest sympathy to all those families that were victim of gun violence, with the children in Texas that got shot and killed, and the teachers in Texas that got shot and killed. We wanted to sincerely give our condolences, because that is our mission for our organization, is to help reduce gun violence, to talk about gun violence, to stay on that topic of gun violence awareness, to come up with solutions for gun violence. Because we know that gun violence is surrounding financial issues. Gun violence surrounds mental issues a lot. It has a lot to do with your mental health. So we got to be able to talk to our kids, see what's going on in their heads, and give them the love, the love that they need, so that they don't go out and do these terrible things, and sometimes you don't really see it coming, but we got to be more focused on mental health so that we can start, reducing casualties. All these mass, gun shootings, these are mass shootings that's happening like over time, because it's just happening too often. So I just wanted to get on, and I wanted to say, don't stop pursuing your dreams. Don't think that what you're doing is not working. Don't think that you don't have your own audience on your network, because there's an audience and a network for everyone. Just remember that we all can work together. We all can eat. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and have Shanika come on, and she's going to talk about her mission that she came up with the 25 days and what they're doing to strengthen, not only in prayer, but to strengthen in mental health. And then after that, we're going to have Amazin Tate come on with a quick word for her caregiver segment. Take it away.
Good evening. My name is Shanika Amper, and I want to give you an opportunity to get involved on an amazing prayer assignment that God has put before me. From May 9th into June 3rd, we will be doing 26 days of prayer. That's right, 26 days of prayer and intercession on the behalf of our children. 26 days alphabetically. So for 26 days, this involves the willing women and the weeping prophets. The willing women and the weeping prophets are going before God, interceding on the behalf of our children, alphabetically. And so the first day we prayed letter A. Day A involved prayers for abuse, addiction, attention deficit, ADHD, ADD, just pulling things down, uprooting the strongholds, pulling down strongholds, uprooting the roots of things that's affecting our children. If you can see where we are in this time, we know that we need to be interceding for children. And when God began to give me the revelation, he said, he didn't say the youth, he said children, because everyone is someone's child. And so we didn't pray specifically for anyone under the age of 18. We're interceding on the things that affected the lives of children. This assignment started one day after Mother's Day. Mother's Day, he just had me going in and praying for different things. Children in foster care, children who had not been in contact with their moms, their relationships had been estranged. Just different, situations. So this assignment, you just pick up a day, you call me, you get in contact with me, you can find me on Facebook, and you can be involved in this prayer assignment. And if you're not that person to pray, in a way of going live or tagging me in your live, feel free just to stand on the walls and stand in the gaps with us as we continue to pray. If you choose and you would like to be an outcry prayer person, that means going live, just feel free, find me, contact me so I can assign you a day. We still have a couple of letters that's still left that we will assign to you, and you can go before God. asking God, allowing the Holy Spirit to move you and get you to a place that you are on board. It's been effective. I've been hearing the testimonies. And so I thank you in advance as we go forth. I also want to let you know that after these 26 days of the women, the Willie prophets and the weeping women, right after Father's Day, the men would take the torch. And God says when the men take the torch and come back into their rightful position of prayer and intercession for the families and for the children, that there would be a major shift. And so the women, we're just tilling the ground before the men, and then the men will come aboard right after Father's Day. So if you are praying men and you want to be involved in that, I invite you on. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's your favorite caregiver coach, Angela Amazing, #1 caregiver coach in the country. So listen, I am at Herman Memorial Hospital here in Houston, Texas. So I am going to share an experience with you guys of what it's like being firsthand being in a hospital with a dementia patient. So I'm here. I got to interview my EMT guy. It's been a journey, and I am here with one of my clients, and the emergency room is packed. So I wanted to share this experience because what do you do in the middle of caring and cheering for someone and they are uprooted into the emergency room? Basically, he was throwing up, having a hard time, and we decided to bring him to the emergency room so that he could get treated and just checked on. And it was very scary for the family. So I am sitting here with him as his caregiver, just making sure that everything goes well until forgive me. He's not going to be able to get out of the chair. He can't sit in the chair.
Okay, the problem is that as of now, as long as you're on here, the gentleman in the chair behind you, I have to do what he needs to be done, which means you have to stay there. And
let me talk to the gentleman, please.
Unfortunately, your daughter said you have to stay there, and so we're going to have to keep you there for your safety.
My daughter didn't say to
She
stay
spoke
there.
to me, and she said that you have to stay where we can make sure you're safe.
Have to do what?
Sir, until they turn you over to staff, we need you
to stay there.
Okay, I'll sit here and I'll stay there.
Is this comfortable? Well, not really, because I know him. I've known him for years.
Well, this is it's hurting my back, sir. It's straining me.
Okay, well, maybe.
No. So this is what we're experiencing.
Okay, sir, this may be uncomfortable, but it's padded. You sit in this chair.
It's not padded and it's not good. So you're going to have to stay there.
It's not as uncomfortable as this thing.
Yeah,
This thing is hurting my back.
Yeah, it's hard timers. So we've been going through this pretty much all day for hours, not sure of the time of the event that things happened to him, complaining about being on the stretcher. And this is just some of the things that we do. And I'm staying in position until the family shows up. And unfortunately, when the family arrives, sometimes it's a little stressful for them because they're not trained or equipped to know what to say or do in these cases. We've already given him his meds. And so you know also well, if you're out there and you're a caretaker or caregiver, you are anything in this industry, you already know what it's like. So definitely chime in, let us know what you think, and share your thoughts about dealing with someone with dementia. I am, again, if you are new to the show, I am Angela Amazing Tate, caregiver coach. You can find me at www.coachamazing.com, and you can also find me on Instagram at I am Coach Amazing. So forgive me for the background noise because this is our real life. This is what we do daily. And caring and sharing for others, it's a lot, and it's fulfilling. It's rewarding. And I'm just going to say again, if you have anyone who is taking care of someone with dementia or you're connected, let us know your thoughts. Email me at amazingcaregivercircles@gmail.com. And again, you can find me on any of the social media platforms as I am caregiver coach Angela Amazin Tate. Just chiming in another day. I want to wish you all a happy Memorial Day weekend, and definitely be safe out there, and we will talk soon.
Boss Up Visual Podcast offers media services for reasonable price quotes, created to aid the urban community with marketing services for your business, products, or services. Book your interview or ad by emailing bossupvisualpodcast@gmail.com or simply fill out the contact form. Boss Up Visual Podcast is geared towards business and life topics, teaching individuals how to build wealth, make smarter financial decisions. Boss Up Visual Podcast is hosted by Shakita Days and Derek Days, founders of Derek Denzel Days II Corporation. Sometimes looking at life and business from one person's perspective or type of group can be misleading. Teaching you how to stay bossed up in the competitive world. A visual podcast shows step up, raise your standards, and for the direction of your life. Boss Up Visual Podcast features sub-segments hosted by business leaders, authors, coaches, and individuals looking to expose their brands. Become a VIP listener, get access to rewards and more by subscribing. When you're taking a look at life and you're looking at your life, what do you see for your future? What do you see for yourself? What do you see for your family? Do you want to continue to live this life and be unhappy? Be unsatisfied, not being able to live a full, fulfilling life? You want to get out of that rut. You have to get up and do something new. Do something different. Do something meaningful. Something that's going to be valuable to your life, valuable to your growth. And the only way for you to do that is to get up and boss up. Boss up, raise your standards. Raise your standards for yourself. Raise your standards for your life. You are enough. You're capable. And the only way for you to move into a different space, we have to get the knowledge that's necessary to move into those spaces. So don't be afraid to raise your standards. Don't be afraid to better your life. Don't let people tell you that, it's not possible. You're doing this for nothing. You're doing this for you. So whatever you desire to have for you, yourself, and your family, and the life that you desire to live, take action. Take action today. So thank you guys for joining us with another Boss Up Visual Podcast show. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay bossed up. 13, December 2008, Shakita and Derek lost their 10-month-old son to gun violence. Imagine feeling like your entire world just crumbled. In 2011, the journey begins.
person on your left you're still here. Tell the person on the right you're still here. Tell the people in the back you're still here. Tell the people in the front. Now tell yourself that you're still here. You can't keep holding on to things from the past. Let it go and let God. Let it go and let God. I don't got time to be fighting.
Because it's okay to say no. Because you can turn your nose into your strength of yes. Yes, I took my power back. It takes a village. It takes a team. So when I said I'm switching it up, I want everybody to leave here today buying something from somebody. I want everybody to leave here with somebody's number. I want everybody to leave here promoting somebody else on their social media. Because we don't do that. What we scared for?
That business became more and more of my time. But I also had to tend to other businesses. So with this Balsa conference, it really made me want to share my kind of experience and kind of things I do. Because I feel like everybody has a boss inside of them. You know, everybody can figure out how to get to the next level.
I'm so overwhelmed to be here today. I mean, this is what I live. This is what I live. I live positive, progressive people.
You can't try to change other people if you're not willing to change yourself. Amen. So here are a few ways to work towards change. So I had to come up with a strategy, and he told me that this relationship is built on prayer. I'm telling you, when we got together, I was 19, he was 17, so it's like we grew up together, right? Keen enough to understand, to pay attention to those moments, to see that he was changing, right? But only because I was changing.
Student loan, then the interest rate is so high. So I told Angela, I said, I want to give back to our community. I want to show people how to buy and sell real estate with no money down. I have a mentor that coached me named Don Jacob. He'll coach me how to buy real estate. The house I'm living in, you guys, I live in 6-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and an acre of land. And you know what? Guess how much money I put down? $20.
Why this happened? Because, you know, a couple of years ago, 2008, I lost my son in a shootout. So, I mean, it's a situation of life being, you know, in the street, running the street, and to be here today is a whole breakthrough for me.
Like he said, our mission started back in 2008 when we lost our 10-month-old son to gun violence, Tennessee. So we wanted to present to you today the Think Before You Act campaign. The sign that you see here in front of the podium